You know that feeling. You walk into a big meeting, you're all set, your presentation is perfect, and then you see it, the one old HDMI cable.
And your new laptop, of course, only has USB-C.
It's what we all call dongle hell, and it's a real friction point.
It really is. You've got legacy gear built into the walls, and then the brand new tech people bring in with them.
Exactly. And that's really the problem we're diving into today. We're looking at a device, the Kramer VP-451.
The spec sheet calls it an 18G 4K HDMI plus USB-C switcher scaler.
Which is a mouthful. I mean, that's a lot of jargon. Our mission is to figure out if this one box can actually be the bridge between those two worlds.
Well, it's designed for that exact scenario, what they call a bring-your-own-device environment.
So at its core, it just takes in both types of connections, HDMI or USB-C.
It takes both, and it handles the switch between them automatically. But that USB-C port is the really interesting part.
Because it's doing a lot more than just sending video.
Right. Oh, yeah. This is the game changer. It provides up to 60 watts of power back to your device through that same cable.
Okay, so that kills the battery anxiety thing completely. You plug in one single cable to present, and you're also charging.
No more hunting for a power outlet under the table. It just simplifies everything.
But the part that makes this pro gear has to be the scalar function.
Right. A lot of cheaper boxes just pass the signal through. What you put in is what you get out.
Which can be a total mess if someone's laptop is outputting a weird old resolution.
You get stretched images, black bars. It just looks unprofessional. The VP-451 takes whatever you give it and scales it perfectly to 4K at 60 Hertz.
And there's a specific detail here that matters. It does this with 4.4.4 color. What does that actually mean for the person in the room?
It's all about color data. 4.4.4 means there's zero compression. For a movie, you might not notice, but for a spreadsheet with fine colored lines.
So it's the difference between text that's crisp and text that's blurry.
Exactly. It keeps the data on screen perfectly legible.
Okay, so that's video. I also see notes here on audio, embedding and de-embedding.
It's about flexibility. Embedding lets you take a separate audio source, like from a room microphone,
And inject it into the HDMI signal.
you got it, so it goes out through the display's speakers.
And de-embedding is just a reverse, I assume, taking the audio out.
Yes, it strips the audio from the HDMI and sends it to a proper analog output. So you can use the room's high-quality PA system instead of 10 TV speakers.
It seems like so many of these features are just designed to make it foolproof for the user, like the auto switching.
That's the set it and forget it part. You plug in, it detects the signal, and it switches. It even has CEC support.
Which means it can turn the screen on and off automatically.
It can, so you don't even need to find the remote control.
And physically, I see it's a fanless enclosure.
Which means it's silent. The last thing you want in a small meeting room is some piece of gear humming in the background.
Okay, but we have to talk price. This isn't a cheap dongle. The MSRP is over $1,000, though I see it on sale for around $948.
It's definitely pro-grade gear. But you're paying for reliability. In a business setting, a 5-minute technical delay can cost way more than the device itself.
Speaking of reliability, it was interesting looking at the vendor, HD TV Supply. The reviews from users, one in Mexico, one in Georgia.
What about them?
They weren't just praising the product. They were calling out the support staff by name, people like Rachel Christian, for fast shipping and good service.
And that's a huge part of the value. Knowing there's a real person to call when you're installing something this critical is, well, it's everything.
So when you put it all together, the VP-451 is kind of the invisible hero in the room.
It is. It handles the power, the video, the audio, and the user doesn't even have to think about it. It just works.
It just lets the presenter focus on their job. So here's a thought to leave you with. This whole device exists to bridge HDMI and USB-C. But with USB-C now doing everything power, data, video in one port, are we looking at the last days of the HDMI cable? Or will that legacy port just hang around forever?
That is the question every single AV designer is asking right now.
Something to think about. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.